don't know what that means.
Just press the damn button.
All right. Well, I pushed the damn button. We should be going now. All right. There we go. It says we are live on the YouTubes. We should be live on the YouTube. I actually just canceled the thing out, so hopefully we're live.
Wait,
What's up, YouTube? I accidentally just canceled out the studio, creator studio that we were supposed to stay live on, so I can monitor the feed there. So this is gonna get a little behind the scenes RFR production here. This is like Hard Knocks with RFR crew here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So now I gotta go.
So we're not quite knock on wood. If you're with me, we're more like snap.
Yeah. Yeah, snap on what? Okay, live streaming. So this is riveting, I'm sure, for all of you watching.
Yeah.
Thank you to those of you. Okay, there we are.
Ron's here.
Well, hey. Well, then that just means that all we got to do now is just
hit the button.
Hit the damn button, nerds. All right. Oh, should I get the intro ready? I suppose I should do that too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. You know what I mean, Mosh? Like, this is a whole thing over here. We got to hire a producer.
Just press the damn button.
All right. I'm getting at it. Here we go. Welcome to Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Biletnikoff, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most seamless, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murph back once again for what we hope to be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. That's right, episode number 141 of Raiders Fan Radio. We can't even be derailed by a 1-1 record, let alone a subcutaneous hematoma.
Ah, jeez.
I'm on like limited duty right now.
Oh, light duty here at RFR.
Limited duty. Not light duty. It's always heavy duty around here. Running the RFR broadcast, but yeah. You're the one that taught me subcutaneous hematoma anyways.
Yo.
Sorry, guys. So welcome to episode number 141 of Raiders Fan Radio, live from Murph's Fan Cave here on the Murph's Fan Cave Network. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me introduce you first.
I can't help it. They're killing you on the chat already.
Okay, hold on. So, my mic is choppy. Well, I hope that. Oh no.
This is the best one. You fix your mic and I'll read the chat. Just when Johnny goes, is that Patrick Mahomes or Mosh? LOL. Talking about your. I guess both of our. We're getting out there is gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Oh no. Well,
so how's mine, guys? Is mine good or
we might
what?
have to restart the broadcast here then.
We can do that.
We've had to do that before when this stuff happens. Yeah. Oh, it says Mosh is good now. Okay.
Okay, what about Murph?
What about me? Tell me, Ron. We're both clear? Somebody in the chat, we both clear now?
Clear now. Justin and Johnny says we're clear now.
All right, good deal. Yeah.
You know why we weren't good?
Why is that, Mosh?
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Because I kept telling you to press the button and you wouldn't press the button.
I know. Well, I got the button. On your cam, you're choppy. Oh, remember that happened before?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know because I had to cancel out my cam in order to make it work. So let me go to you, Mosh, and then I'll restart. Anyways, so welcome to the show, to episode number 141, Uncle Mosh.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Fired up. Another Wednesday night. We're into our 88th day of being, or is it 82nd? 82nd day of being in the 90s. It's hot.
It's hot.
Middle Tennessee is only a quarter mile from the sun.
It sure is.
People didn't know that.
No, they don't know. They don't know that. It's a little warm. Okay. And I'm back on my camera. All right, how is that, guys? Are we good now? Tell me if it's still choppy. I'm just going to get going, and then if it doesn't, I'll retry it again. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll just keep it on the fan cave cam and Mosh's cam for the show. All right.
We've had to do that before.
Better do that before. All right, so episode number 142 here of Raiders Fan Radio. It's still choppy. Okay, well, I guess Murph Cam just goes away for the night. All right, so there we are in the
it's Swag's fault.
Yeah, we'll blame Swago for that. You know, my camera was acting kind of funny when we started, but anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so you have to tune into the audio version of the podcast if you want to hear me complain about subcutaneous hematomas.
So I love Coach Davis doesn't mince words. Sounds like crap.
Sounds like crap. All right. Thank you, Coach Davis. Oh man! All right, so we're gonna hear from Coach Davis later on tonight in the show. All right,
maybe.
Maybe I know, right? So, all right. So the audio only version of Murph tonight, and I guess that's not a bad thing. Is it still choppy? Oh my god!
Nope. It says choppy when video on you, but when it's off, you both are clear.
The fan cave cam, we're good, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
We should be good now.
Sorry about all that, guys. My bad. Well, actually, it's not my bad. I can't control the technology. It just is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, and then we can't blame it on the rain.
No,
because there isn't any.
There isn't any rain. It hasn't rained in a while either. All right, so let's get on the Raiders and the show. So thank you to those of you that are joining us in the chat. Thank you, Running Bear, Pirate 1975, Just Win Johnny, Chris Rubio, Coach Davis, Pete, Adam Hill, Kent Freeman, Ron Stratton, the Mater Raider, we call him around here. He handles business there. He's the sheriff in the chat room, and we appreciate him. Rev Raider is in there. Adam Hill is in there. Joe Estrada, Gorilla Gardens. Mosh, it's a busy night in the chat room. We love the chat room, and if you don't catch us on the live feed, definitely do that. Check out youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And no, it's not. Why do I always do that? It's
Why
YouTube.
do you do that?
I don't. It's a thing. I'm all flustered now because this camera thing. It's youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. That's MURFS Fan Cave. And you can catch the live broadcast of every episode of Raiders Fan Radio and jump into the chat. It is a lot of fun in there. They are funny. They know more about football than we do, and it is definitely a good time. Other ways you could support the show, let me get on Uncle Mosh's camera over there. There are two ways to support us, and as we support the Biletnikoff Foundation, you can buy a Fred Biletnikoff jersey or any other gear by going to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear and hit that link, and then a portion of all of the proceeds will then go to the Biletnikoff Foundation because we're going to donate every penny that we get from those links to the Biletnikoff Foundation with the goal of raising $2,000 to give them at their annual Crab Fest, which is coming up.
Yeah, coming up soon. I can't wait.
Yeah, coming up in November. Also, you can buy one of our Get Made shirts, which we only have a few left, Mosh. We're about out of those. But keep them coming. Keep the orders coming. We still have all sizes except for large available. But you can order a Get Made t-shirt. And again, 100% of those proceeds goes to the Biletnikoff Foundation.
And we got, what, 10-day turnaround on that at the max?
Yeah, I'm a little behind. Like, I know Lino has a t-shirt order in. Lino, the Full Metal Mexican, I need to get his out to him. I run a little bit behind because I am the shipping department for Murph Fan Cave and Raiders Fan Radio.
I think that needs to come under Swag's duties.
I would love to put that under someone else's duties.
Yeah.
So, but that would be good.
Because I passed it on to you.
But anyway, so I appreciate everybody that's ordered those shirts, and please continue to support us as we support the Fred Biletnikoff Foundation. All right. Also subscribe to us on any of your favorite podcast feeds that are out there. You can find us on any podcast service, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all kinds of good stuff out there.
Nothing makes me happier than all this talk about Jalen Ramsey going.
Oh my gosh,
going to the Raiders. Because we watched him.
Yeah, he grew up down the street.
Yeah, he went to Brentwood Academy and was breaking all kinds of records. It's a private school not far from where I teach. And he was amazing in high school. And so the idea that there was with all the craziness that's been going on in his world, and he's saying that he would like to play for the Raiders. How cool would that be? I mean, okay, so we give up a few picks, but come on. This guy is going to be amazing. and he would look so good in silver and black.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of Jalen Ramsey. I think he's got Raider written all over him. And, now with, we missed out on Minkah Fitzpatrick, but with the idea of maybe pulling him in. And then there's also now Jamal Adams from the Jets is one. So I think ultimately, though, if the Raiders are going to make a move for a secondary player like that, which I'm not opposed to them doing it. The whole point out in draft picks is to acquire talent. And if you can acquire a sure thing with a pick, then, why not do it? And, they're fit positions of need. The only thing we got to worry about is Carl Joseph. Is that what are we going to do with him?
Right.
Should we
hey, so let me talk about something. While you see if Swago's camera is going to work for you.
Yeah.
Over my shoulder here, the other hand. So we put together a collage of the shirts that have been sent to us. And it's some really cool swag that Swago didn't get.
Just the booster clubs.
The different booster clubs that have been sending them to us. And so we've kind of mounted them on a canvas, and it looks amazing. It's just phenomenal, and I think it's going to be really cool. I think as we start amassing a big bunch of those, that's going to look really neat in our background.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been fortunate to have so many cool people send us stuff. And there you see the Atlanta Booster Club. That came from Kevin.
Right.
Raider Homer sent us to Central Texas. Silver and Black UK sent us to London. Defenders of the Silver and Black came from Q-Dog. Let's see. We got Salt City Silver and Black. That came from Jay. And then, of course, our buddy Jimmy Zebach sent us the Great Lakes Booster Club. So, yeah, pretty cool back there. And so it's going to say Swag Jeff on there, but it's me. I'm kind of dark. I don't know. Is that worth it, Mosh?
Yeah, it's worth it.
Is that worth it? Okay.
Yes, if we can hear you and we can see you, we're good to go.
All right, it's a little dark. I'll try to mess with it on the fly here, try to brighten it up as we're going. But let's go ahead. So speaking of Swag, Jeff.
Adam Hill says, hey, look at the damn camera.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of funky here. It looks real dark. I'll try to brighten it up. But, hey, Mosh, so tell us. I'll tell you what. While I mess with that, tell us about episode number 142 and the significance of that number. If you don't mind.
Man. Okay, so Swaggy J was at it, right? And he actually did this because he does most of his stuff when he's on the when he's on his phone. And he was all done, and he was in his driveway, and he's like, "Oh man, I got some really good stuff for you." So in 2010, Seabass sets a record for points scored in a single season. How many?
I'm going to guess 142.
142. Not only that, but he's got a second one because there's a lot of people that are gunning for his job, right?
There's
people that not saying that Swaggy J does I almost called him Saggy. Swaggy J.
He's that too.
My little buddy Southwest Swag does a poor job. No, that's not true. He came up with a second one, so he's got a double bubble for 142. John Madden, career games coached for the Raiders, 142.
Ah, nice one, Jeff. That's a good one.
All right. Adam Hill says, okay, you're good, Murph. If Adam Hill's not cussing you, we're on.
All right. Good deal. All right. So I appreciate that, guys. It might be a little choppier than what you're used to, but anyways, it's better than nothing there. So, okay. And I took off where it says Swag Jeff on the bottom.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Mosh, for handling that for 142. And thank you, Jeff. You did a great job on Coach Madden and also Seabass. All right. So here at Raiders Fan Radio, we like to give out respect, Mosh.
That's right.
We don't do props. We don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we
do respect.
We do respect. Yeah. We do respect. So, three guys we want to give respect to tonight. Number one, first and foremost, we want to give respect to Raiders tight end Darren Waller. Darren, love that guy. Darren, for those of you that don't know, came to us from the Baltimore Ravens. This is now his second year with the team. If anybody's watching this show, I'm sure you are fully aware of who he is. But he's had this road to recovery, this fight back from substance abuse, and it's to be celebrated. We're all about a redemption story here on Raiders Fan Radio, man.
Absolutely.
And considering the cesspool of media and coverage that has happened with our team the past couple weeks with that guy that shall no longer be named.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk
He's
about
joined with 84 has joined 89, 52, and Wilson's partner.
Yep.
In terms of we will not refer to them anymore on this show. But anyways, so with all that bad coverage, we wanted to highlight some good stuff here.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to do with Darren Waller and the rest of our respect tonight. So let's start off with Darren, and let's hear from him. You know, Mosh, when you hear that one of your players is featured on TMZ Sports,
oh, it's not going to be good.
That's usually not a good sign.
It usually involves a cell phone. If your name is Pac-Man, it's a neck brace and a bar. But yeah.
Right. So in this case, though, this was a good thing. And let's hear from Darren on TMZ Sports.
They spotlighted you a lot on Hard Knocks. What was that experience like for you?
It was definitely different because, with me, it was like if there's any kind of news around my name in prior dates that it was, around like me like violating the drug program again or just like, news like that. So just as far as a more positive thing, it was definitely new territory for me, but I embraced it and felt like that would have been a cool chance for me to kind of talk about what I've been through and just keep it real and let people know that I'm a human being at the end of the day.
I feel like you got a lot of fans, not just in Oakland, but all around the country. Do you feel that the support is there for you?
Yeah, I definitely feel it. As far as, just like on my Instagram, it's just like a lot of people reaching out, like relating to my story. And that's the kind of stuff that, makes me feel like I'm living with a purpose now. And it's like, when I go out there, I kind of try to do it for them. I want to enjoy it for myself, number one, but it's also like representing for them, like, hey, like there's life past that and there's life beyond what you could ever really imagine, because I never really imagined myself being in this exact position. So it's like, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than what I'm feeling. It's bigger than what I may be going through. And I always try to keep that on my mind. It just keeps me from being like self-centered like I was before. It gets me out there and wanting to help people. And that's what really life's all about. That's what really gives you the most rewarding feeling possible. And so I just try to tap into that whenever possible, whether it's going to a meeting, whether it's just having a conversation with someone or standing in front of people and speaking to people, sharing my story, like whatever it looks like, whatever that service looks like. I'm willing to do it because I know that's what fills me up, and I got to do what, makes me feel good inside.
Was there ever a point where you didn't think your football career would be where it is right now?
Yeah. I felt like when I was in the practice squad last year, like even if I got reinstated, I kind of thought like I would get an opportunity. And then it was like, no, I was in the practice squad, and then that was for 10 or 11 weeks. And toward the end of that, I was like, man, I don't know, like I may not play in the game again, but it's like at least I gave it a shot. And I was kind of feeling down about it. But then that was like a few days after that, the Raiders had picked me up, and it was just like, if I hadn't been preparing myself like with a positive attitude up until that point, like of course there's going to be days where it's like your attitude's not going to be perfect, but that just preparing that way helped me to when I got to Oakland, I didn't have to like flip a switch on, like that switch was already on, and I just came in there and just did what I had to do. Ever since I came in, they were just like, hey, we're just going to give you a shot, see what you can do. And it's just like, after all I've been through, it's like, a shot is like, I don't even really deserve another shot. It's just like, if somebody's willing to give it to me, that's like, I'm going to attack it with everything that I got. And that's really what I did. Just give them a chance to really see me for who I really am. And just as a human being. And it was just an instant click, like from my position coach to the offensive staff to just people on the team in general, the leaders on the team. And, just took off from day one.
What do you think there, Mosh? How about the humility there, right?
He's just great. Excuse me. He's well spoken. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Man, dude owns his issues, man.
Yeah.
And there's no quicker way to recovery than to own your issues.
Absolutely.
And to be as public as he is, man, I got all the respect in the world for this guy.
Absolutely. To put that kind of, to be that vulnerable, to go out there and to just own that stuff. And I think it's important. And the reason that I wanted to share it too is that, there's a big listening audience for us out there, thankfully, that you all are willing to pay attention to us. And, that maybe his words help you with whatever your situation is, whatever. There's all kinds of different things to recover from. That's not just substance. There's all kinds of things out there. And if someone like Darren Waller and his story can inspire someone else, if we can be even a small amplification of that, then we definitely want to do that. So props to him. Major respect to him. Thank you so much, Waller, for being that open with everything. All right, so again, on the same thread of all the negative media coverage that was out there about that one guy, I would like to highlight another one of the Raiders that's done some amazing things. And there's a right way, Mosh, to do things, and there's a wrong way.
Well, we hit two things this week. We hit the mainstream media with TMZ, and we hit social media.
And now we hit social media. So we're hitting social media because some players choose to use social media to build a brand and to, whatever all the things that happen with 84 are. Whatever that is, that's one way to use it. Another way to use it is to use it like Tyre Whitehead uses it. And what he's been doing is giving away tickets on Twitter based on, he'll ask a trivia question. And so he asked this week, how many passing yards does Derek Carr need to become the Raiders' all-time passing leader?
Right.
So this guy, OG Massa is his name on Twitter, answered the question of 81, and he got it right. And so Tyre said, here's some tickets. DM me on how to get them. So he did that.
Wow, that's so cool.
So this guy, OG Massa, says after the game, sends a picture of his little boy or little girl there, I'm assuming little boy, and a real young kid. It's like 6 years old or something.
Yeah.
So he says, I wouldn't be doing our captain, Big Taj, justice if I didn't let Raider Nation know the impact he's had on our family. This is the last game Oakland will host KC. Thank you for this memory and a story to be shared for generations. Thankful.
And he shows a picture of his son sitting there in the seats that he provided.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then he answered back, congrats, boss, you won. Enjoy the game Sunday. He said, and he says, happy you were able to make it out and enjoy yourself with the little one. Nothing better than creating memories with family. God bless you and your family, boss. Like, how cool is that, man? Like, that's what you use social media for if you're a friggin' professional athlete. Like, that's amazing. That's
so cool.
And you know what that does, too? That, you want to talk about building a brand, and I know, like, that's how you do it.
That's
like,
how you build a brand.
That's how you build a brand. So major props to Tyre Whitehead. Very easy to root for, and he's been a heck of a player so far, too, since he's been with the Raiders. So that's been
So
awesome.
we've got mainstream media with television.
Yes.
We've got social media.
Yes.
And can I throw you this one? Recorded media.
Nice one, Mosh.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was insane. So awesome.
Isn't that great?
Man.
Okay, so for that was sent to us by Michael Phillips. Michael is a resident of Central California, big Raider fan. He's been in a whole bunch of bands through his life. Anyways, so he reached out to us and said, hey, Murph, I just wanted to share this version of the Autumn Wind, the Raiders theme that I wrote. It's not the Autumn Wind, it's the theme that comes after it, but you guys know what I mean. And so he says, I wanted to share this with you. Would you be willing to play it on your show? Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to have fun with that audio. We're going to put it behind Mosh's, maybe his Autumn Storm, maybe some of our other IDs, whatever. We're going to have a lot of fun with that one. So appreciate Michael Phillips. Much respect, because not only was that like a fun idea, but like that was legit. Like that's very professionally recorded.
Jeez.
And you know me, I'm a sucker for audio quality.
Oh, yeah,
man,
yeah.
That's so good. So thank you to Michael Phillips for doing that.
Hey, what's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
Murph, I got to know, man.
Yes, sir.
I got to know.
Yes, sir.
How much are you up?
I'm up a little bit.
Nice.
I'm up a little bit.
Nice.
I've done well, man, and I've done well because at the end of a hard week, Mosh, it's great to sit down, take some time off, and watch some football. And, you got game-winning touchdowns, 2-minute drives, running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them. There's nothing like the NFL, and there's no better way to make the games even more exciting than to bet on them.
Yeah, man.
And so I've been betting a little bit with mybookie.com. So mybookie.ag. Do the smart thing. Go to mybookie.ag. No one gives you better and more ways to win. MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any other sports book. And don't forget, when you're betting, it's just as important that who you're betting on. And mybookie.ag is the best in the business. It's where I play, and it's where you should too, Raider Nation. And yeah, the only game I lost this week was the Raiders, because I took the Raiders in the points, but everything else that I bet this week came through. And so I've done very well since I've gotten with the mybookie.ag folks, and we appreciate their support of our show. And I wouldn't tell you guys about this if I didn't think they were the best.
Tell me about the promo. How's the promo work?
Yeah, so do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this season, you bet with MyBookie. And if you like to bet a little and win a lot, you can try a parlay. If all your picks come through, you multiply your winnings. And no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of year. Join now, and as Mosh said, MyBookie will double your first deposit. So if you put in $100, you make $200. If you put in $300, you get $600. And so to activate that offer, use promo code CAVE to activate that. That is promo code CAVE, CAVE. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid.
Right on, right on. All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Merv's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good.
All right, Uncle Mosh, let's talk a little bit about the game. We played the Kansas City Chiefs this past week, and a little rough in the second quarter.
I got something to say about that.
Okay, say something about that.
I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, you do. Sheesh. Man, that was rough. If I'd have told you, Mosh and Raider Nation, those of you in the chat room, Lauren, Aaron the Q-Dog, Coach Davis, Running Bear, Ron, Kent, who else is in
Pirate
there?
1975,
Just
Jose.
Jose, yeah, lots of folks in there, Mojo Raiders in there. If I'd have told you, Mosh.
Yeah, I'm listening.
The Raiders are going to get spotted 10 points at the end of the first quarter. And
we're 10-0.
10-0 at the end of the first.
They're going to hold the Chiefs scoreless first time in 22 games.
Yes, in the first quarter.
Right.
And we're going to continue to hold them scoreless for 3 quarters. Would you have bet the Raiders?
I'd bet the farm.
I'd bet the farm. What happened? Second quarter, man. 7 minutes of the second quarter. Kicked our ass.
So here's the thing.
Okay, tell me.
It used to be, last couple of years from about 2017 on, it used to be 3 quarters we did bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It used to be we'd have 1 good quarter, and then we'd stink it up. But hey, so we're getting better. Okay, I'm really stretching on that one.
There's some truth to what you're saying.
No, really, seriously though, they came out. The way I look at it, they came out. All the people. Let me rephrase my thoughts.
Okay.
All the people in the world can complain and whine and snivel and say, "Oh, all that talk, it was all hype." I don't like Kermit the Frog.
No.
I didn't like him when he was a Muppet, and I don't like him when he's a quarterback.
You've always been a Miss Piggy guy.
I've always been a Miss Piggy fan. My point is, we can't deny that the kid has got a freaking rifle for an arm.
Oh,
He picked apart our secondary in that second quarter, okay? Destroyed us, threw touchdowns at will, okay? My coach, Coach Gruden, made adjustments at halftime. And nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the adjustments that were made for the second half. We got our butts kicked in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But in the third and the fourth quarter, we held them scoreless. There was adjustments.
Now, there is a case. Some people say, well, Andy Reid started pumping the brakes. Him and John Gruden are good buddies. He didn't want to rub it in.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Okay.
There is not a case for that to be made.
Okay.
Professional coaches whose jobs are on the line, whose money comes from wins, do not risk pumping the brakes. Sorry. We did that. We did that when we were coaching 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we were in a league that didn't have a 15-run rule, we wouldn't do that. That's different. But I promise you they're not doing it. They don't. Do you think Nick Saban has ever pumped the
Bill
brakes?
Belichick doesn't.
Belichick,
Right,
they don't
right.
do it at the collegiate level, and they're surely – I know they don't do it at the high school level. We have a mercy rule.
Right, right.
But they're not – no. I don't care if they're buddies or not. I don't care. He didn't pump the brakes.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I don't think so either. I think that
Coach Davis says there's no such thing as buddies on the field, and I agree.
There you go. I totally agree too, and I think that sentiment is a little bit misguided. I think you're right, Mosh. I think Gruden and Paul Guenther made adjustments to it. And here's the thing, when you're playing Patrick Mahomes, just like if you're playing. And I'm putting him in this category, but just like if you're playing Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees,
gosh,
if you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. And there were times, a few of those throws were not even mistakes being made. That Conley had great on that one touch.
He could not have had better. You and I sat there and said
Yes.
his arms were in there. How did the guy catch the ball without Stickum?
Yeah.
I mean, serious.
Yeah, it absolutely. So I'm with you on that. That was the big standout to me in terms of standouts. In terms of the Chiefs, in terms of the Raiders, Derek throws the 2 picks.
One of those was 100% not his fault. I will.
Well, you had this unprecedented offensive pass interference call that led to the interception, and it was not only a ridiculous call, but it was just, how do you keep, it's a timing route. Like the ball's going to be there. Now, I will say this, I was a little disappointed on the pick in the end zone. I think we all were.
Yep.
And we said, early on going into this season, look, if Derek ends up throwing a whole bunch of picks in the end zone, we're going to be the first ones to criticize him. So I'm not willing to back off of that. I think that was ill-advised. I think that at times he trusts his receivers too much. You know what I mean? He got so comfortable with Crabtree and running that fade and doing all that stuff. I think at a certain point, you've got to, I don't know. He saw the guy. Here's what happened. He saw the guy, and you'll hear from Coach Gruden here in a minute telling you this. He recognized that the safety was going to blitz. He looks out to Williams, and he taps his helmet. Gives him the signal like, I'm coming to you.
Right.
And then, but clearly, they weren't on the same page for what the route was.
Right.
Because watching the game, even you said, it looks like he gave up. Well, I don't think Williams gave up on it, but I don't think they were thinking the same thing.
No.
He was thinking back shoulder or
Sure.
something else was going on there.
Or he was just supposed to draw that guy into the corner because the play was going somewhere else. He didn't know the ball. That's how I saw it.
Okay.
Because again, he's not going to give up. You don't make the team by being a giver-upper.
No, it's not him. No, that's not a Williams character there. So, all right. So anyways, those were just kind of a handful of our takeaways. Let us know what your big takeaways were in the game. Let's get on to some of the players on the field. So this is really cool. So you're going to hear from a handful of guys here. We've got DeAndre Washington, Mad Max Crosby, Max. Who else? A couple guys here talking about this is the best line. We don't like them, and they don't like us.
Let's go, fellas. Let's go, fellas. Let's go today, man. Do it for each other. Play for the man to your left and to your right. We don't do what you do here. Good luck, man. Woo. All right, let's fly around, man. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Hey, man, rivalry week. Ain't much need to be said. They don't like us. We don't like them. Coach the wheel off and early, man.
I love that. Well, they don't like us. We don't like them. Pose our will often and early. That was good stuff there. That was DeAndre Washington. Appreciate him. All right. Also on the field, Mosh, Ty Williams, despite the one bad play by him and Carr collectively, besides that, he had a pretty decent game, especially early on, catches a touchdown, and he was mic'd up for week 2. And you know how much I love these mic'd ups.
Oh, they're the best.
These are the best. And just listen to, guys and girls, listen to the intensity of the contact. I mean, I know they got microphones on their chest and people are punching the mics, but it's still, man, it's just so cool.
Do it for each other. Play for the man to your left and to your right. We don't do what to do.
Win. Hey, I'm gonna take one.
I love when they sing along too. Always cracks me up.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, DH. Let's go.
Part two.
Part 2.
Part 2.
I throw that thing up to you. You with nobody. All day. All day.
Love that.
Hey, we all close. Swag on your fool. You can't cover me. You can't cover me. Okay. You can't cover me.
There's a snap. Backs it up. Throws middle. High. Touchdown with him. Touchdown back of the end zone.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. I can't wait to play him again. Good Lord, man. Can't get frustrated though, because it's only week 2. You know what I'm saying? Can't let it get to it. One game. That's how when I was with the Chargers my 3rd year, we lost the opening 4 games and came back and went on like a 10-game, 8-game win streak. Such a long season.
I think that's very important to draw a little perspective to what this game was. You hear Williams right there. It's a long season. We're 1-1.
Yep.
We beat the Vikings this week. We're 2-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, this course can be corrected real quick. We expected an 8-win football team. Now they're 1-1. Like,
that's how you get to 8-8.
That's how you get to 8. And Mosh, and I said this on Mondays with Mikey Murph this week, and I want to repeat it because I think that it's valid. And it's a little bit of sticking up for myself. I get a lot of folks, especially on his channel, not as much here, but a lot on the Mikey Murph channel, people saying that like, oh, Murph, you're Raider drunk and you're blind and you're an apologist and you're a bootlicker and you're all these things that, frankly, I take as flattering because, yeah, I'm a Raider fan. What do you want me to do? I root for the team. But I didn't have an expectation we were going to beat the Chiefs. So for those of you that are freaking out there because we didn't, who's the bootlicker? Like, who's got unrealistic expectations now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're out there freaking out going, I can't believe we did this, we did that. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Look.
This is one of the best teams in football. Like, come on now.
We hate the Chiefs. We're unapologetic about that. But we can't deny.
Exactly.
We can't deny that they're good. All those years that Pittsburgh did what Pittsburgh does in the 70s, we hated them. I used to turn my back when that stupid Coke commercial would come on with Mean Joe Green. I drank Pepsi because of that. I'm serious. But there's no denying them. We don't want to talk about the 90s.
Oh,
we don't want to. I'm not going to even say their names. I don't want to. I'm talking about donuts in the chat. I don't want to go to alfalfa sprouts. But there was no denying who that team across the bay.
Yeah, the late 80s.
There was no denying that. There was no denying that quarterback and that wide receiver they had.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's look. So I think that it's important that look. I said also in this last offseason, I thank the Raiders for relieving me of the burden of expectation that I didn't think they were going to do anything anymore after a 4-12 year. It was like no one expected that. So that's all. So this is far from like the end of the world here. Like, we got a long season to go. You just heard it from Ty Williams. The Raiders are going to continue to compete. We competed very well against this team for a majority of the game, except for that 1 7-minute window. And that 1 7-minute window cost us the football game. I'm not going to.
I love what, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love what Just Win Johnny says. You know, it's going to be even sweeter later on in the course of how things run when we beat them the second time we play them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And so I look, here's the thing too, guys, and keep this in perspective. All right. So we're probably not a favorite to win this division. Most likely the Chiefs are going to win our division, but the Chargers are beatable. We know we can beat the Broncos.
Yep.
Right. So Pittsburgh is now off the map because Ben is out for the year.
Yep.
Right. Miami is an absolute joke. The Jets are going to be a joke now with Darnold being out. Like, you start looking at like around the league. So who do we got? You got the Colts are now vulnerable because Andrew Luck is retired. So you got like you look at the Jaguars are out. You look at the other teams in the AFC. We're very, very realistically a wild card team this year.
I'm with you.
That's not like crazy fan speak. Like, think about it. The other teams that were. Look at the freaking Jaguars were in the AFC Championship game and almost beat the Patriots a couple years ago. Like, now when you start removing the teams that out of the equation that are not the clear-cut division winners, you start looking at who else we're going to have to compete with. It's very realistic. We're going to host the Titans in Oakland this year. We can beat the Titans. Like come on. Like,
look, there's a reason
not a lost season.
We play the game. Because if we didn't play the game, we could look on paper and go, okay, these guys are going to win. But who knows? Hey, Bledsoe goes down. In comes Brady. I mean, come on. What Mahomes, do I need to remind everybody about 2016 Christmas Eve?
Oh, my gosh.
Titans fans and Raiders fans will always be connected through that.
Yeah.
With the leg injury, come on. People are gunning for Mahomes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Good point.
And everybody they play should have frog legs on the menu.
Nicely done, Mosh. Sorry. All right. So speaking of, how's this for a segue? Speaking of quarterbacks, Derek Carr, man. Now I'm going to apologize for him for a minute. This week he breaks Ken Snake Stabler. Kenny Snake Stabler's all-time yardage record, Mosh. One of the cool parts of the game.
Twice.
I was just going to say that. In the most Raider fashion possible, he breaks the record, then next play has a 2-yard loss, and then has to break the record again. And so it took him 3 tries, but he broke the record, and that was awesome. So let's listen to the play. Let's see. Here we go. Let's cue up Mr. Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
All Raiders in the first quarter, all Chiefs in the second. And the full gallop. That's Darren Waller, the tight end. Comes off a 7-catch performance. Gets his first catch in this one, and it goes for 16.
And sneaks all the way across the field. And last week, kind of came out of nowhere and had a big game. And you watch him.
All right, there it is. So Derek Carr breaks the record. I love how they celebrated that.
Yeah, they totally missed it.
Thanks, Jim and Tony.
Man, did we get sick of Tony?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry.
There was a love fest for Romo going on, but not in our house.
Not around here.
No, I didn't really care for that. So I'm going to read. I'm going to stop in the middle of this segment, and I'm going to read something here. I won't give out his name there, just out of respect for that. But someone says they appreciate my enthusiasm, but we are trash this year. No, we're not. I don't know what Raider team you've been watching over the past, 10 years. If you think this is trash, then what did you think 2006 was, dude? Like, come on now. Like, we are far from trash. Like, this team is not trash. This team is going to compete every single week. We're going to win most likely half of our football games. That ain't trash. So I'm going to push back on you there. And if you want to clarify that further, have at it in the chat or 909-345-3346, and we'll love to hear from you. But this team is not trash. So that kind of, it kind of riles me up there a little bit. I'm going to
I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of Derek Carr breaking the record, Mosh, 19,196 yards now. Derek Carr has to become the all-time passer for the Raiders, passing the legendary Ken Stabler at 19,078, and then in third place is Rich Gannon with 17,585. Now, Derek's got a long way to go though to catch up in touchdowns. Derek has 124 touchdowns, and Kenny's got 150. But so I'm going to ask you this, Mosh. Is there a possibility Carr, he's already got how many on the season? He's got, 4, right?
4.
So is there a possibility that he breaks Kenny's touchdown record this year also? He threw 19 last year.
I don't see what's holding him back. We've got the receivers where we didn't have them before. So you got 4 going into 2 games. Man, when he lights up the Vikings this week.
There we go.
And he doubles his existing. And when he throws 4 this week, write it down.
Oh, are you going Nostradamus?
Nostradamus said it.
Ooh, Nostradamus says 4 touchdown passes for Carr this week.
Now, I'm not saying that there won't be a lot of other scores from the other team, but I'm just saying when he doubles what he's got already and he's at 8 after 3 games, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I like it. Good call, Mosh. All right, so some other unique things about
Running Bear just corrected me.
What'd he say?
He said, sorry, Carr only has 2 TDs only.
Wow. 3. He's got 1 to Williams this last game, and he had 2 in the Broncos
game. That's what I thought.
Is that right? Somebody check.
I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Somebody check us on that. He's got at least 3. Okay, so his touchdown percentage is 4%. That's lower than Kenny's of 6%. But listen to this: Kenny threw 143 picks. Carr's only thrown 56 interceptions. Like, his interception percentage is way lower than what Kenny is. And I'm not saying this to talk junk about Kenny. I'm just saying it's a fact. And also, Carr's sacks are going to on pace to be way higher. He gets sacked at he's got 145 sacks on his career, where Kenny got sacked 189. Now, there's that offensive line of the Raiders of the 70s was absolutely legendary. And, it's very highly noted that there were many times where Stabler would drop back and just kind of stand there flat-footed and look around because there was no pressure because of Shell and Upshaw and Beeler and Dalby. And you know what I mean? Those guys were just, amazing, literally Hall of Famers. So congratulations to Derek. You heard the play. Now, if there's any remnants of you that think that Derek Carr is not and what isn't regarded as one of the great quarterbacks of the Raiders, well, I don't know. Let's just ask all the Raider great quarterbacks what they think of Derek Carr.
Derek, congratulations on breaking the record. You've had a marvelous career so far. You're not over or done yet. Keep it going. Go Raiders.
Flores.
Hey, congratulations, Derek, for being the franchise-leading passer in history.
Today was a great day. You passed everybody's old records. Good luck, buddy.
Hey,
Monica.
Congratulations on becoming the all-time leading passer in Oakland Raider franchise history.
Gannon.
What an amazing accomplishment. I'm proud of all your hard work, but most importantly for your leadership, for your toughness, and for your professionalism. What a great Raider. Hey, good luck this season, brother. You know I'll be watching.
Derek, on behalf of the Stabler family, congratulations on breaking Dad's record and becoming the Raiders' all-time passing leader. We're thrilled for you and know he would be too. Go Raiders.
All right, he has only thrown 2 touchdown passes on the year. The chat confirmed that. We appreciate that, guys, for keeping us. See, they know more about football than we do. That's why we have the chat. So there you heard from all the surviving Raider great quarterbacks: Flores, Plunkett, LaMonica, Gannon, and 2-time veteran of Raiders Fan Radio, Alexa Stabler, talking about her dad, talking about Kenny.
She's 1 away from being a made woman.
I know, right? How cool is that? Yeah. And she's been on live. Like, we interviewed her live in person at the Senior Bowl this year. And appreciate Alexa for sharing her time with us. So look, guys, I mean, if there's any doubt, this is what we always say. I don't defer to social. I don't care what Twitter's opinion is of Derek Carr. I care what Daryl LaMonica and freaking Jim Plunkett think about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what carries weight in my eyes. So, anyways, great stuff from there. Mosh.
Talk to me.
I almost put this in the respect segment. This is pretty cool. But I can't put a chief in the respect segment. That would just be a little too. As Val Kilmer, as Doc Holliday famously said in Tombstone, my hypocrisy only goes so far. Right? So I didn't want to do that, but I will say it I kind of respect Travis Kelce for something here that he said.
What did he do
after the Chiefs and Raiders game?
I get amped up coming into a hostile environment like this, seeing everyone flicking you off, coming in on the bus, and you see a few people's cheeks you weren't trying to see, and it's just it's football at its finest, man, or pregame at its finest, and we're gonna miss that for sure. So shout out to everybody in Oakland for making it what it was.
How cool is that, man?
That was cool.
Isn't that cool? I love that.
Yeah.
Some cheeks
you didn't want to see.
So they're giving him the old pressed ham on the bus
Man,
on the way in.
I
man.
love it. I love
Yeah,
it. The only thing that reminds me of Phil talking about bringing Franco to the black hole.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Absolutely. So, Oakland's a special place, man, and we're gonna talk a lot about Oakland itself and game day a little bit later in the show. Guys, this is the last Raider home game. This game against the Chiefs. Excuse me. This was the last Raider home game until we go in November. Like, that's crazy. Like,
jeez.
I know. Like, this is the tough part of our schedule. If we come out of this relatively unscathed, look, if we come out of this with a 500 record, frankly, I think that we're doing really good. So, Raider Nation, we will see you at the next home game against the Detroit Lions. All right. So, next up on the docket are the Minnesota Vikings.
Who?
The Minnesota Vikings.
I got 99 problems and the Vikes ain't one.
Mosh, what do you got?
Wait. The Vikings beat the Falcons week 1.
Yeah.
And then they got beat week 2 by the Cheeseheads.
Yeah.
They are 1-1.
Looks like we are.
They were beat last week by arguably their biggest rival, and nobody's picking them to go beyond 8-8. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
I ask, how many groups of Vikings fans did you see roaming around the draft?
Oh, it was that one guy in the blonde pigtails.
Yeah, I can answer that. None. Oh, they were there. That guy with the pigtails was there, but I don't remember seeing them meet up. I don't remember seeing them travel in packs.
No.
I don't remember seeing them chanting, "Go Vikings!" And I'm not worried about all those plastic horn-wearing, saltine-eating, Winter Bowling League Viking fans creating an issue for us. I'm challenging everybody in Raider Nation, tune in, check out how many Raiders fans are going to be in their stands, put your feet up, watch the Vikings as they crumble in what will be known as the 2019 Twin City Meltdown.
Come on, Mosh.
That's it. I'm out. Minnesota Poopers.
This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd, live at the Oakland Raiders tailgate. Raiders! We got Gorilla. Say hi to Uncle Mosh and Murph.
I love you guys. Much love from the black hole, baby. Just win.
Give me a pirate against a Viking any day.
Right?
We got muskets and swords, and what do they got? Clubs and.
I was reading today their injury report. Of course, ours is pretty lengthy too, but
yeah.
But their defense and they have a good defense.
They got good wide receivers.
And they got good wide receivers.
Yeah, are no joke.
But their whole their list of all the people that didn't practice and are questionable and all that, man, it was I think there was 9 people on it and 7 of them were off their defense.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
wow.
Check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
All right, so they're vulnerable, man. Raider Ramon sent out a really funny text message to us, or we have a group message between a lot of the made men, and he wrote, it was a picture of Kirk Cousins, and he's up against like a mugshot thing,
right?
And it says local man accused of stealing $84 million from local football team. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yeah. So Kirk Cousins is he's no Brett Favre. That's for sure. All right, so we heard from Travis Kelce earlier talking about the uniqueness and the special environment and atmosphere of Oakland. And Mosh, there are some names that are just synonymous with Oakland.
Okay, give me one.
Jack London.
Love it. Give me another one.
MC Hammer.
Love it. Give me one more.
Marshawn Lynch.
Nice.
Yeah, Marshawn, man. We hadn't heard from Beast Mode in a minute. And, Marshawn is just a national treasure. He's just awesome. Like, I got a little torqued up when he fought or protected, I should say, Marcus Peters.
Sure.
I got a little wound up at Marshawn then. But everything outside of that has just been awesome. And we hadn't heard from him for a while. As we know, he's retired, although he never announced his retirement. He just quit showing up to the practice facility. But he is officially retired, and he's making the rounds. And Marshawn he's got a bucket list, Mosh.
Okay.
And he's going around and he's doing things that he's always wanted to do.
Why not when you got all the money in the world and you still got your health?
And absolutely. And so he has been out and about, and so he went and I don't know what the event was, whatever the latest NASCAR race was. He went and he drove the pace car at the NASCAR race, and he was interviewed by Dale Jr. And this is what I want to say about, we're going to play 2 Marshawn segments for you guys tonight. And this is really funny. Marshawn was notorious during his playing career for not saying anything.
Right.
Yeah, like he was quiet.
Like got fined for not talking and stuff.
Yeah.
I just have to force him.
Now that he's retired, he's Mr. Chatty Cathy out there, man. It's the funniest thing. So here's Marshawn getting interviewed by Dale Jr.
So you gave up some pretty good plans to come here today and stand around this heat to drive this pace car.
I did, man. I did. But I mean, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, man. I've done it myself. They give you some pretty good pointers early in the day to get you ready and ready. You ain't nervous at all?
No, I'm not. The only thing that's wrong with it, I think I only get to go 45 miles per hour. I was expecting to put, they call it put the pedal to the metal and really drive this thing, but I only get to go 45.
Well, maybe after the race is over with, they'll let you take a few laps. I'll get in there and ride with you. We'll go around here as fast as you want.
Oh, yeah, I'm with that. I say that. I think they told me that they get up to about 180. I done 180 before. I'm not going to say where, but, you know what I mean? I know what that feel like.
So the one thing that I've noticed about you is since you've retired from football is you're on this sort of quest or this bucket list item, checking things off. Am I right about that?
That's true, man. It really come down to is I'm just trying to do I ain't never done before. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It was the best. And so during this interview, he's wearing a Raider hat. Like, this is almost Raiders and pop culture that we're getting into here. He's wearing his Raider gear, and he's still wearing, like, so as he mentioned, it's 1 billion degrees, but he's got like the what do you call it? Like the hood, the tight hood that comes up over your chin, like you would wear in like cold weather playing a football game. And I don't know if that's part of like his fire suit because he's getting ready to drive the pace car or what. But anyways, and he's wearing a Raider hat, and he's the best, man. Like I said, he's a national treasure. So another national treasure who is not a Raider, but Pat McAfee. Have you ever heard Pat McAfee?
Oh yeah.
He's the funniest guy.
He's really funny.
He's hilarious. So Pat McAfee, former punter for the Colts. Now he's been making the rounds for years through different talk shows, been on Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen and all that kind of stuff. And he's always really funny. Well, now he's got his own show. So he's got the Pat McAfee Show.
Nice.
And so he has Marshawn on to interview. So you got this is gold to me. This is podcast gold. This is the Pat McAfee Show, so all the credit to them. I'm totally stealing your audio and replaying it here. It is so good. It's so funny. And so let's listen to Pat McAfee interview Marshawn Lynch.
That town, though, that you're from, you stayed connected with this entire time.
Most definitely.
Loyalty seems to be the biggest thing in Marshawn Lynch's life.
It is.
Is that why you went and played for the Raiders? You felt like you owed the...
Well, I mean, I grew up, a Raider fan, but at the same time, I think it was more so the fact that, the Raiders was leaving Oakland. So I had the opportunity to, I didn't know I had the opportunity, but I wanted the opportunity to play for the team before they had left. Because I had just did that over and over and over and over and over and
you
over
loved
and
that.
over and over. I just did that. You feel
that
me?
Interview?
Yeah.
Run through a motherfucker's face.
Run through a motherfucker's face. And then, I had to come out of retirement. So, I felt I went and reneged on my word, but at the same time, it was for a reason. Like, the Raiders is finna leave Oakland, and they were supposed to have left this year, but it didn't fall through, so they played another year. But I would have been right on time with retiring again and the Raiders leaving.
Kind of
and it would have been that, you know what I mean? All right, we did what we had to do.
Yeah.
Now y'all can go and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had a team type but, I mean, you know, they were there for another year.
Did you enjoy your time with the Raiders?
I did.
It seemed as if you felt obligated to kind of rep for the city. It kind of felt like that. I mean, on the sideline, I got a chance to play in the Coliseum over there. Locker room's complete trash. It's a tough stadium. Feel like you're potentially going to fall through in a lot of places, but the environment there is insane. They have a DJ that only plays Bay hits.
That's it.
What's his name? Do you remember?
Damn, and I just went up there and got down with him. I don't.
That's on me.
I can't remember the name.
I set you up for failure.
No, you ain't set me up for failure. I get hit in the head. We gonna put it like that. I forgot.
But the environment there is insane.
They say it ain't nothing like the town. And I mean, going to a Raider game, you gonna experience that. I'm talking about from on the way to the game, entering to the stadium.
I mean, they're
in the stadium, all the way to leaving out that motherfucker. You gonna get a real dose of the town, straight up.
That's it, a real dose of the town, Mosh.
I love that guy.
Best?
He is the best.
Let's see what I'm talking about. Like he's all of a sudden like.
Where did this come from?
I know.
We never saw this side of him.
Not like this. Not at all, man. I love it, man. He's great, and and I love it that he's, this is a guy that, and clearly he gets it because he was a Raider for crying out loud and lives in Oakland. But this is what we've talked about numerous times on our show. That what Al Davis crafted,
right,
was an environment and a mystique and a feeling, and from the time the bus pulls in, you go through the crowd, you onto the field before and on your way out, as that MRFer as Marshawn said,
right?
Like it's very deliberate. Everything is very deliberate, and it's the genius of Al Davis, and I just love it that Marshawn reflects that, and his pride in the town and his pride in Oakland has always been on display. But to hear him talk about his pride also of the Raiders, like that was good.
I loved it.
That was really, really, really good to hear. So, man, we love us some Marshawn. All right, so Running Bear in the chat, Mosh, says that the Raiders are getting more and more respect in the media. I agree. There's a lot of love around the Raiders. I think that the ill will from '84 is definitely as reflected positively on the Raiders, not just Raiders, but just the national media. I asked Bill Williamson about this when we interviewed him last week directly, and he didn't give me a straight answer, but I think there is a different demeanor, don't you think, Mosh? Like the way that the team is being talked about, the way it's like we're receiving a little bit more grace than what we have in the past. Maybe not so much from the fans, but from the media. It seems like they've got our back a little bit more, don't you think?
Well, everybody's seeing something a little bit different than what we've seen before. We're seeing a whole new mindset. Gruden was that first year was an experiment. Somebody in the chat said, you got to remember 2016. We won the first game, then the second game we got beat by Atlanta, and then we went on that fantastic run.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that was Coach that said that. But so I think that I don't think people are jumping ship. I think people are starting to just take notice and say, man, they got something there. There's that magic is back, and it's what we haven't seen in a long time. And, we had a rough year last year, I mean, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this year's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it's there. And with that, more people are starting to say, maybe they're not coming on board completely, but they're going, they're hedging their bets a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going, well, I did say something good about the Raiders early on.
Yeah, exactly.
That idiot that we watched the other day, that Tony Romo.
Oh,
I'm sure he'll when it comes out that towards the end of the season when we're 9-3, and he's going to go, no, I remember that one game they lost, but I knew they had it in them.
I saw it in them then. Yeah, exactly. Before we get, so we're going to cover, the next segment here is going to be about the positivity in the media and a couple of really cool segments here. But I want to address the chat. Ron's in there, Full Metal Mexican's in there, Rev Raider, Joseph Duran, Jose Obale, hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Coach Davis is in there, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Franklin 83 is in there. A lot of talk about Jalen Ramsey, and people are asking us, would you do it? What do you guys think about Ramsey? We kind of hit it at the top of the show, but I'll hit it real quick because I know our mics were kind of funky there for a minute. I'm all about the idea of draft picks are designed to acquire talent. And if you can acquire a sure thing that is a fit for your football team, then you do it. So I'm not a trade for everybody kind of guy.
I'm with you.
I've always been a build through your system, build through picks, build that. But if you can get a Jamal Adams, a Minka Fitzpatrick, who I know is already gone, or a Jalen Ramsey, who are sure things for your first round pick, and it fits your team's needs, I'm all about it. And Malmash and I have a soft spot for Jalen Ramsey, number one, because he's a local kid. Number two, because I used to work with his mom. She retired the day he got drafted.
Right.
So we've got, not a direct connection, but we were very aware of what he was as a kid, as a high school player. And I mean, he lives or grew up 10 minutes from where we're recording this show. So
not anymore.
Well, not anymore. Yeah. Now he's living in a $1 billion house, I'm sure, in Duval. But anyways, so we were all about that. We're all about and I think that he'll fit. I think that, look, if they're willing to take on a personality like 84, they're definitely willing to take on a personality like Jalen Ramsey, and I think that he'll mesh. I think him and Vegas go really good together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so we're all about it. But again, Jamal Adams, man, let me ask you a question. I'm going to go totally off the rails here.
All right.
There's been a lot of discussion this week in the media about how the NFL is becoming the NBA in terms of the way that players are working themselves out of situations because they're not happy. So you look at 84. You look at what Fitzpatrick did in Miami. Now you look at what Jalen Ramsey's doing. You look at what Odell Beckham did in New York, where the player is unhappy, so he creates, we'll call it a disruption for lack of a better term, but it creates an uncomfortable situation where it essentially forces the team to move on from him. And you had guys like Steve Young and some of the old school guys that are really coming out and saying that you can't do that to the NFL. Okay. Then you have other guys that are saying, well, challenge the system a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. These guys are, you know what I mean? They're dependent on their contracts. But so there's two ways to look at it. Where do you come out, Mosh, on it?
I think that I think it's always been there. I think the comparison of the two, I think that they're apples and oranges when you talk about the NFL and the NBA. But I think that you've always had the disruptive players. It's you got to remember, you've got people that have got so much talent, and a lot of times very little coaching on the emotional side of it. Who knows what they had when they were in high school or when they were in college on, hey, all they hear is you're going to be great, you're going to be great, you're going to be great. But this is how you deal with the fame. This is how you deal with, So who's to say that? I mean, I can go back and think of players that were always a pain in the butt. We had a lot of
Well, look at T.O. Look what he did. He's like the standard of freaking disruptive players that try to get themselves out of situations.
But even before
I'm with you.
that,
That's not new.
Who was the king of you're not bigger than the Raiders? Hello, Al.
Al, yeah.
How many people did he
Look
get
at Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen.
There you
Look,
go.
Coach Gruden, sorry.
That's true.
So it's always been part of what we do. It's always been part of our game. It's always going to be part of our game. But I don't know.
I think the exposure is what's changed. I think that's ultimately what it is that, we don't know what things were like in the 70s behind the closed doors of the facilities and whatnot, and the reporting was so much different. And so I think that it's just different in those terms. Although, but there are a lot of disgruntled players out there. But ultimately, look, they can be disruptive as they want, but ultimately the team decides what they do. And if the team decides that they can get a fair enough compensation for that player and that they can, escalate the value that that they've got invested, well, then, that's what they're going to do. So I don't think anybody's going to, go backwards. You know what I mean? I don't think any of these teams are doing that. So anyways, all right, off topic there. Thank you, Mosh, for your input on there. And I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say in the chat room. All right, so.
Speaking of money.
Yeah, speaking of money, the epicenter for economics in our country is Wall Street. And I mentioned about how the Raiders are getting a lot of love in the media. And we're going to go to Good Morning Football, which we do frequently because those guys are just so funny. There's a new segment on Good Morning Football they've been doing now for a minute, and they call it Wall Streeters. And this is Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, and they're doing their impression of, we'll call them under the influence, amped up, if you know what I'm trying to say. Boiler room type guys, Wall Street type guys,
All
okay?
right.
And so they've done this now a couple times that I'm aware of, and neither one of them previously have been Raider-related. Well, now they finally did one that's Raider-related, and so wanted to play it, and it's so funny. So these guys are literally on the streets of New York, okay? Like marching. So picture this, marching around in the streets, like untucking their shirts, undoing their ties, taking their jackets off, like they're wearing sunglasses, like they look like completely out of control Wall Street.
Is it on the YouTube?
Yeah, you could Google it. You can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So look for Wall Streeters on Good Morning Football. So this is Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, and it's hilarious.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, guys. This is a segment we call Wall Streeters, where we look at the stocks, the bonds, the IPOs of the NFL and tell you if we're buying or we're selling. I told the assistant, I said, no more.
Never mind the assistant.
Okay,
Get out of here. Who's their assistant?
Going out to the Bay. We're going out to Silicon Valley. We're going out to Tech World.
I'm getting hot.
The Oakland Raiders.
I'm hot, New York.
They play on a baseball field, and they look like they went all 9 innings and won the game last week. I love the Raiders. Am I buying or selling without Antonio Brown? I'm buying. I am all in on this Raiders team. Do you know what it's like when you get rid of something in your company that just wasn't working, but everyone else thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread?
All the time.
Sometimes you got to get rid of it. You focus in. You say, you know what we have here in this office? Joe in the cubicle. You know what? Maybe he does go to the same soup and salad place for lunch every day, but you know what? He does a pretty darn good job. That's what the Raiders had in office already. They need to bring in all the bells and whistles. I like this Raiders team. I like the quarterback, and I really like the coach. They say, knock on wood if you're with me. That whole thing, knock 3 times if you're with me. Yeah, I've been knocking a lot. I'm in on this.
I'll tell you what, I love the Raiders. I love Raiders. Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders, Vegas Raiders, Refrigerators. I like watching Room Raiders. You take the black light to this company, you see a big old ship right on their shoulder. You see a stack of chips. They got a taller stack than Mindy Kaling in my weekly celebrity game. I can get you in, by the way. Big blind's 8,000. But don't be blind to the Raiders. Get in now. They got everything that everybody with new money wants. They got an expensive white car. Nate Burleson told me that joke. Nate's got 50 jokes. Nate's got 50 jobs. Make 50 paychecks. One of these weeks he'll actually earn them. But the Raiders will earn for you. Don't wait. Don't you pass them this now. And if you do, don't be calling me next week after their corporate conference with Kansas City. I'm busy next week. I got a squash tournament. I'm going to wheatgrass tasty with my girlfriend's girlfriend, and I have court-appointed custody of the dog. Buy the Raiders. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm going to Luger's.
Go to Luger's. They don't even take credit cards. That's how cool we are.
Oh, my God.
That's the best.
That's so funny.
Okay, so the first episode of it, you guys got to find it. It's not Raiders related, but Kyle tweeted it out there. Kyle Brandt, the second guy you heard in there, he goes, this is the one time that I've legitimately almost passed out on television. Because he's like, I'm telling you, it's the funniest dang segment. So anyways, appreciate Good Morning Football giving the Raiders some love there on their Wall Streeters segment. All right, someone who's never been short on giving the Raiders love is the Princess of Darkness, they call her.
Come on.
Amy Trask. And so Amy Trask on CBS this week when doing their predictions, their picks for the games. She's ride or die, Mosh.
Yes, she is.
All right, men, I have an announcement. Assuming that the stadium in Las Vegas is completed on time and that it's not delayed, this will be the Raiders' last season in Oakland. And as a tribute to those magnificent Raider fans in Oakland, I am ride or die with you at every home game this year. I don't care who the opponent is, ride or die. When the Raiders are at home this year, I'm picking the Raiders.
Wow.
Ride or die.
Wow. And she got a girl.
Ride or die.
Ride or die.
I love
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is.
Uncle Mosh, there are two great ways to get in touch with the show. That is to email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or you can call us, 909-345-3346. If you do the phone call and get your message played 3 times, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman here on the show. Or if you email us an undisclosed abundance of times, we will name you a made person in that fashion. And Mosh, we got 3 emails tonight. You want to share those with us?
Sure. Uncle Murph. Does
that what they said?
No, it says Murph. Uncle Mosh, swag. I was bothered because you got top billing. Murph, Uncle Mosh, swag Jeff, and Raider Nation. Great game Monday, with the exception of the season ender for Abram. It was a great night. The fact that he played most of the game with that injury is a testament to that young man's toughness, a true Raider. Of course, it goes without saying that we're all thankful for Conley leaving on a backboard turned out to be precautionary. It was good to see that all the talking heads on the idiot tube were up to their usual rants regarding the Raiders' inability to stop the vaulted Denver Donkey defense. How were they going to handle Miller and Chubb? Miller and Chubb is all we heard. That and how tough the Donkeys' defense was. Well, I guess they were right. A great defense did show up, and it wasn't the one named after a soda pop. The talking heads were partially right about Miller and Chubb, except the stars were Colton Miller and Trent Brown. For those of Raider Nation that jumped the gun and bought an 84 jersey, Raiders 1967 on YouTube, the guy that posts the Nation Capital construction updates, suggests taking a Sharpie to it to edit Brown to read clown. My favorite idea, though, is to give the Sharpie treatment to the 4 to turn it into a 1 and honor a true Raider legend. Maybe the lesson here is not to buy jerseys until they have some history as a Raider. The last jersey I bought was number 52. No, not that one. Kirk Morrison.
Ah, nice.
Here's to a great game against the Queefs and the much-criticized Derek Carr, breaking Snake's career passing record. Also, keep in mind, every game Chicago loses gives the Raiders a better draft pick at the Las Vegas 2020 draft. Raider Nation forever, Frank from NorCal.
Nice job, Frank. Appreciate the email from NorCal.
Hey, Murph, Mosh, Jeff, and Raider Nation. Before I get down to business, I have to say, Swaggo, where did it all go wrong? After hearing your song last week, we can all agree you should be singing duets with Adele.
Oh, nice. That was pretty funny, by the way.
It was really good. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Petition to get you on the Super Bowl halftime show? ? Exclamation point. Anyway, after
if we do a Super Bowl show this week,
not
this week, this year,
yeah,
that would be pretty funny. We'll do a halftime. Uncle Mosh and I, if you missed our Super Bowl show this last season, we did the day of the Super Bowl, we did a Raiders Super Bowl show, and how funny would that be if we did that again, but then had Swag do the halftime show?
Do the halftime show.
That would be.
We'll put fun. We'll set up sparklers and stuff. We'll get him out there in a. I want him in a jumpsuit. Q-Dog. Okay. Anyway, after the heartbreaking loss this Sunday, I encourage the nation to calm down. As much as we hate to say it, we lost to one of the best teams in the league based off of one quarter. The talking heads want to talk about who we need to pick up this week to fix problems. Yeah, the secondary wasn't great, but Mahomes is a good quarterback who could tear apart most secondaries. Carr threw 2 interceptions, but hey, Kenny Stabler threw more interceptions than TDs in his whole career.
Well, not quite. We just covered that.
I'm just reading the email.
No. I know.
But you're right.
And I'm not correcting to be a jerk. I'm just saying it was close. Kenny threw 150 TDs and 143 picks. So it was
almost 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Keep calm, Raider Nation. We lost to a great team. On to the next one. Joe in Preston, UK.
Nice job, Joe.
And then, of course, evening, fellas. Hope you're well. So, week 1 was better than week 2. Did you really think it could have been any different? As much as it pains me to say, the Chiefs are pretty strong, and Kermit is a freaking good quarterback. Certainly better than Joe Flacid at the Donkeys.
Oh, my gosh.
I still don't see the Chiefs going all the way through, though. As the joke goes, who's the fat guy in red and white that you don't see after December?
Yeah.
Nope, it's not Santa Claus, it's Andy Reid.
That's it.
Looking back over the game, there were times when we could have gotten ourselves back into it and made things a whole lot more interesting. The miscommunications were frustrating, the stupid penalties got annoying, and their injuries we kept picking up were scary, particularly to Josh Jacobs, Terrell Williams, and Trent Brown. We don't want to be without any of these guys going forward. That being said, I do think the Chiefs are in a position at this minute where they can keep them at arm's length once they go ahead in a game. As Watts Raiders said in the excellent pregame and postgame videos, they score points quickly, so when you get chances, you have to take them. They adjusted to us after the first quarter, but we couldn't adjust to them. Congratulations to DC on passing Snake's record, a huge honor for him, and the guy has handled it with huge dignity and reverence to all the QBs that went before him, a real mark of the man that he is. Murph had a really interesting question on Mondays with Mikey and Murph. With everything that's happened over recent weeks in the AFC Championship game, throws up a Chiefs versus Patriots matchup, who would Raider Nation want to win? Personally, I'd still side with the Patriots because I hate the Chiefs more. Yeah, baby! There's always going to be the Tuck rule and a few other reasons to dislike Belichick and company, but everything about the Chiefs is offensive, from their stupid Arrowhead logo, dumbass Chiefs Kingdom, and Ronald McDonald uniforms. Yeah, it would still be the Patriots to win for me. Of course, the better solution would be the Raiders avenging the Tuck rule and everything else by knocking the Patriots out of the playoffs ourselves. And who knows what's going to happen. There's a number of quarterbacks picked up injuries this week, including Big Ben in Pittsburgh. So let's focus one game at a time and see where that takes us. I think we said that earlier. Onwards to the Vikings in a big road win. Thanks as ever for your work, fellas. It's always appreciated. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, Paul Egerton from Shropshire, Mississippi, Paulie Award winner 2019, Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, and one-time winner of the Raiders Fan Radio Sizzler Award.
Nice job, Paul. Woo. Telling you, I love it. Paul always brings it from Shropshire, Mississippi, which is west of Birmingham. Great job. So he brought up the question I asked on Mondays with Mikey Murph, and I'm going to ask this for really the rest of the crowd because I got a feeling I already know what Mosh's answer would be. But the idea that it's even a consideration, I think, is worth noting. Now, we have long held to the idea that if you're going to root for a team in the playoffs, you're going to root against your division rivals because your division rivals keep your division rivals keep you from winning much more frequently than anybody else. So if the Chiefs, Chargers, or Broncos are in the playoffs, you root for them to lose first before you root against the Patriots, the Steelers, or anybody else. So here's my question. I'll ask you, Mosh. I know what your answer could be. I'll ask you anyways. If the Patriots and Chiefs meet in the AFC Championship, which looks very likely, would you even consider rooting for the Chiefs?
No.
I didn't think you would.
No. Can't.
I don't think I would either, but just the idea that I would even consider it tells you how egregious this last incident was with this player and that team, and it's bananas. It's just bananas. Tell me, chat room, who are you going to root for? I know a lot of you hate the Patriots, and I don't blame you. And the answer is always that I get from those people would say, well, the Patriots kept us from winning a championship. Yeah. Well, what do you think the Chiefs do every year? What do you think the Broncos and Chargers do every year? They keep you from winning a championship every single year, not just one time. So it's that's why I always say root against your rival first. All right. So to call the show 3 times and leave a message, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman, and the made man of the made men is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. And Mosh, we're going to go to him first. And, Mosh, this call may not go the exact way you think it might be going.
Oh, he's always good for a good call.
Greetings, Murph, Consigliere Mosh, Underboss Sonny, Lil Murph, Swag Jeff, Sergeant at Arms, the Big Raider Trucker Nation. It's your Cappoed, the Q-Dog Raider, coming to you from the great state of Texas. Well, looks like our Raiders fell back to earth in a harsh way last week. There was a second quarter collapse for the ages, if I say so myself, against those pesky Chiefs. However, there were a few men that were actually committed to excellence based upon their play on the field this past Sunday. Now, other than a few glaring weaknesses in his game and pass coverages, I have to give a little bit of respect to Tyre Whitehead. The man brung it. Benson, Mayowa, he's a sack machine compared to the defensive ends we had to witness last season. Now, Josh Jacobs, he's who we thought he was. But for all his efforts, he's busted up and questionable for next week's game against the Vikings. And Trent Brown, man, he's all the man that we thought, he'd be at our right tackle. And we paid handsomely for him. So, good returns on the money invested. Partial credit goes out to Tyrell Williams for catching the lone TD pass. Plus, listen, Darren Waller, I'm telling you, he's making a brother say, Jared, who? Now, on the other hand, we had some inconsistent performances from Chucky and, of course, Carr for not sticking to the game plan that got us ahead 10-0 early. Then there were some flat-out piss-poor performances, and the roll includes Colton Miller, Ryan Grant, Hunter Renfrow, Marcus Joyner, Darryl Worley, Garyon Conley, Carl Joseph, and Paul Gunther for making zero adjustments in the second quarter. But, however, he was able to get the ship righted in the second half. What went wrong? Anyhow, somebody fell out a missing persons report, and yes, I'm going to have to put this person, Arden Key, on it. I mean, it was another preseason of talking this cat up, man, but you know what? All the things that they said that, this guy might be coming out of LSU, he's starting to show the inconsistency, the lack of performance, the lack of tenacity. Man, I'm telling you, man, this guy literally had zero statistics for this past game. And he only recorded an assist on a tackle the week before. He's clearly being outplayed by Mad Max Crosby. Now, there was a poll that was taken about the first two worst stadiums in the NFL, and guess who came in last, baby? That's right, the turd bowl that is, the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. It doesn't matter who came in first, but they gave out a whole bunch of reasons why this was a baseball facility that has a large capacity for baseball but low for football. Listen, I'll see y'all in the tailgate zone whenever we get together for the Lions game. And the hit list, of course, we're going to have to put Jonathan Cooper on it to make way for Richie Incognito. Glad to have him, but he's going to bring the nasty to the 53. Now, listen, I mean, this guy was ready to pop the trunk at his father's funeral, so I know he's ready to go ahead and mix it up. So that's pretty much all I got, man. Respect goes out to, the fam, B-Dog in the pasture, Mojo Raider.
Google Voice has...
You shot me!
It's not often, if not ever, that I get claimed by Google Voice, but I'm looking for you, Google. Anyhow, I wanted to make sure that I gave proper respect out to B-Dog in the pasture, Mojo Raider, Watts Raider, Sugar Shane, Raider Homer, Splatterhead, Potts Fitz, His Lordship Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi, Eye Patch, Rev Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Running Bear, and Ron from Alliance. Root.
Google Voice took an L right there.
Google Voice. Google Voice. We didn't even know he was on the hit list. I don't know that Google Voice is defeated, but Google Voice is wounded for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Google Voice will think twice about stepping to the capo.
You don't step up and you don't stop the capo.
Gosh, that was the best.
Oh, that was too funny. Good job, Aaron.
Aaron, you're the best. All right, so we mentioned last week that we were going to have Capo was going to have his 8. You know what I mean? That we weren't going to we're gonna kind of whittle down Sea of Fans to 8 calls.
Yep.
And so we've done that this week. So thank you to all of you that called the show this week. But we've just got to narrow it down. So we've got the 8. Now there are 2 guys that we're gonna put on the exempt list. So technically we have 10 calls tonight because Sonny. I didn't want to displace anyone for Sonny or Greg. Right. They're kin, like they're family. They get on kind of no matter what.
Well, Greg's got a job. He's running the fantasy.
He's running the fantasy football league,
and Sonny's a founding father.
Yeah. So they didn't move anybody out. So we're gonna still have our 10 calls, but we're gonna get to Sonny and Greg first.
I got 4 things to say. Number 1, the other day I sold some baby onesies. They were Raiders apparel. The guy said he's a Raiders fan. I go to meet him. I give him the clothes. He gives me the money. I say, man, it sucks about Abram, huh? He says, who's Abram?
Oh!
So I slapped him and took the clothes back. Number 2, if the Chiefs The chefs are ketchup and mustard because of their uniforms. Does that make us the Oscar Mayer wieners? Because we certainly weren't winners. Number 3, the Raiders looked really good in the first quarter. Their offense was efficient, their defense magnificent. Then Kermit the Frog with his curly hair sipping tea on a log went John Elway's quarterback cheat mode on us like Shaquille O'Neal dunking on Arvydas Sabonis. And finally, I leave you with the poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. We all thought Todd Downing's offense was going to be great too. What the?
I miss that guy.
Oh my gosh! Good job, Sonny. Look forward to catching up with him, and you'll get a chance to. All of those of you listening will get plenty of chance to see Sonny when we get together at the game in November.
That's right, man. The chat is having a blast with
Cappoed taking out Google.
Running Bear says Google just got Cappoed.
I
love that. I love that. It's so funny. Just too funny. Google Voice got a cap in its ass for thinking it's bigger than the capo. That was Running Bear as well.
Nicely done. All right, good stuff. All right, so as we mentioned, the other one on the exempt list is Greg, and he's going to give us an update on the Raiders Fan Radio Fantasy Football League.
Hey, fellas. Caller Greg from Tennessee here, calling in with a Raider Fan Radio Fantasy Football update. Leading the way this week was with 130 points was Ty the Raider. And there's 3 2-0 undefeated teams. Ty the Raiders 2-0. Scottish Raiders is Kevin. We got 2 Kevins, by the way. And my Tecmo Bowl Raiders. That's all I got for you. Over.
Short, sweet, and to the point. He is not going to get Googled.
No, absolutely.
Because I know him. He has no guns. And I've offered plenty.
All right.
Well,
so,
hey, he's a made man.
Oh, that's
we
right.
We don't have time.
We're kind of running short.
Here we go.
Yeah, we'll get to Greg next time. So thank you to the 8, to all of you that have called the show. But here we are. We're going to get to our the grade 8. We're going to call you the Mark Wilson, the Ray Guy, the 8s. And so here we go. First off, we're going to hear from Deuce, a new caller to the show.
Murph, Hunk, Swag Jeff, what's going on, gentlemen? This is Deuce. The super is kind of subjective, so depending on who you ask. Anyways, I just finished watching my 141st one of your show. The first time I'm giving you guys, gentlemen, a call. Just wanted to mention before we completely get past that dude, just wanted to mention a lot of people get upset about we lost a 3rd and a 5th. I personally think it's a well-west investment. How often do you get a chance to make an example of a superstar and helping to build, our dynasty coming up? So I just wanted to see if you could put that out there for me. No big deal, man. Y'all have a good one.
Absolutely, Deuce.
I
Appreciate
like that
the call.
take.
Yeah, great take. You know, Mosh, there is a such thing as addition by subtraction. You know, and yes, it sucked that we lost a 3rd and a 5th and the value of that. But, I mean, when you really think about it, what does a 3rd and a 5th equate to? It's a real big crapshoot on whether those guys are going to make the team or not on the 5th. And then on the 3rd, on whether that's most likely a depth type player. Usually any of your starters are going to come in the 1st and 2nd round. So great take, Deuce. Man, appreciate the call, and definitely call us back. All right, Mosh, we call him the historian. Some call him Dead Scrolls Steve.
Dead Sea Scrolls Steve.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph and Mosh, Houston Raiders Steve, the historian. Thanks so much for the sizzler. Man, up there in Kansas City all week, it's been Raiders week. They get all pumped up, radio talk shows, talk about the rivalry, Ben Davidson, Otis Taylor fight. Man, it's like the Hatfields and McCoys up there. And I just want to quote the poet, Welsh poet Dylan Thomas. He says, "Do not go gentle into that good night." This poem instructs us to burn with life, implores us to live boldly and to fight. Boy, I tell you, I can't remember all the Raider great games between the Chiefs and us. Man, it's gonna be a full 60-minute football brawl. You know what, to the wall. Anyway, all I can say is the Raiders are back, baby. It's a statement game. Let's show the league we're on point. We're on notice. We've been building up to this point through our draft and our trades and everything, just so we can knock off the Chiefs. So let's go out and get a win. And Al Davis says, just win, baby. The Raiders are back, baby. Go Raiders.
All right, go Raiders, Steve. Unfortunately, it wasn't It was a statement, all right, for 3 quarters. We missed 7 minutes of that second quarter there, but that's okay. We'll have another shot at them, and I don't think it's going to completely derail our season. Appreciate the call. So, Mosh, I think this is first-time caller. Now, we've had this guy on as a guest before, and I've actually guested on his show, which is called Philosophy Kings, and this is a really fun call. This is great. This is our buddy Iceberg, and this is him walking in to the Oakland Coliseum this past Sunday.
Raiders! Yo, this is Iceberg, the comedian. Episode 59, just calling back to check in with everybody. Yo, I'm 3 for 3 right now. I'm at the Chiefs game, ready to go 4 for 4. Watch out, everybody. I love you guys. I welcome the family. Hey, we might be moving to Cappoed. That's all it is. Love the nation. Love you guys. I hope my host gets his head taken off. Good night.
Awesome job. I love that. What he just said right there is legit. And that's like tagline t-shirt quality. Raider Nation, we're just moving the capital. That's freaking good, man. That was really good. Nice job, Iceberg. Appreciate you calling the show. All right, next up is a guy we haven't heard from in a while, Mosh. We're kind of going in the Wayback Machine here and love it. We're going to hear from our buddy Junior in San Diego.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Junior from San Diego. Junior the Raider. But devastating loss, but come on, guys. You really think we're going to win against them? I mean, they're most likely going to be up there with Patriots. But anyway, really disappointed in our secondary. I mean, I wish Abrams was there, but geez, he's not. But Ramsey and Minka, what do you guys think about that? Ramsey's asking for a trade, supposedly. Minka, they're looking for a trade. And we didn't really see Waller this game. I don't know if he was covered, but geez. Mayoya, what we'll see. Arden, what we'll see. I mean, anyway, on to the next. Hope you guys are blessed, and go Raiders.
All right. Good job, Junior in San Diego. Appreciate the phone call. Yes, sir, we are blessed. And Benson Mayoa is currently your defensive MVP. Go figure. I don't think anybody would have had that one pegged. All right, Uncle Mosh. So we have no new made men tonight. But I do want to, at some point, have you give us an updated, if you won't mind, if you want to do an updated version of the list. And then this caller is now number 2. And we're going to hear from our buddy Raider Trucker Dan.
Hey, Murph.
Go ahead. You want to do the list now?
You asked me to do the list, and you play over me.
That was my bad. My timing was funky on that. I'm sorry.
Man, and we talked about this one.
I know, huh? My bad. Go ahead.
Jimmy Zebach, hardcore Raider. Johnny in San Diego. Chuck Splatterhead McCann. Ron in Alliance, Ohio. Alaska Raider. The Dakota Raider. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Red in Yakima. Jim from the East Coast. Yayo in Jersey. Big Raider Trucker. Wyoming Raider. Diego in Georgia. Running Bear in Tulare. Mojo Raider Jr. in San Diego. Beto, you know the city. James in Arkansas. Monster Mash Ken. Raider Roo in Utah. Eve Dog. Houston Raider Steve. Jesse in Kentucky. I can't read my own writing. B-Dog in a pasture in Texas. Max in San Diego. Rev Raider. Raider Juan. Eye Patch. Alex in Tucson. Ruben in Vegas. Dave in the 330. Kevin the Raider Nerd. Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi, UK. 24-karat Kev, the cool-ass Raider. One Nation Jeff. Chucktown Raider. Haley in Scotton. Lino, the Full Metal Mexican. Central Valley Raider. RBK Raider. And Coach Davis.
Nice. Good job, Mosh. Appreciate you running that down. And thank you to all of the made men and made women out there. And speaking of that, we just saw Kevin the Raider Nerds popped into the chat. Welcome, Kev. And appreciate him.
Deuce just showed up, too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, welcome in, guys. And we're just winding down the show. Got a few more calls to get to.
Hey, hit those like buttons.
Yeah.
I haven't hit the dislike yet, but I'll get it before the game's over.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We always get at least one thumbs down from Mosh, and then all the rest of you, hopefully, like it, subscribe to it, all that good stuff. In fact, shout them out, Mosh. Shout out the chat.
Oh, man, everybody's here. Ron, Kevin, Full Metal Mexican, Pirate 1975, Just Win, Johnny. Let me go back a little bit. Blake, 4311, Super Deuce. Where am I at? Did I forget anybody?
It's hard
Sugar
there you go.
Sugar Shane, Pirate 1975. I may have already said that. Jesse Rosales. Man, everybody's here.
A lot of action.
We're fired
in the chat
up
tonight.
about it.
Appreciate you guys joining us.
Eye
patch with his one good eye.
And Franklin 83. They're all here. Sugar Shane, come on.
All right, appreciate y'all. All right, let's hear from Trucker Dan.
Hey, Murph. This is Raider Trucker Dan calling out of Little Rock, Arkansas today. I listened to the Raider game on the radio because I had to drive today, and I was at the game against Denver. That was a good win. Carr didn't look as crisp this time. That interior rush of Chris Jones beat our backup guards. Carr got sacked 3 times today, and I think Trent Brown's fine. I don't think he's really hurt. I think they just pulled him out just because it was meaningless at that point. I think he'll be fine. And we get Incognito back next week. But Mahomes was special tonight. I mean, today he was on fire in that second quarter. I've never seen such a great quarterback play in one quarter like that. It's amazing. But, we just got to rebound, look at the film, make the corrections, get better. I really think we need to add another safety because our safeties could not cover today. Too bad we weren't able to use our rookie safety since he got hurt for the year, but it's the way it is. Carr turned over the ball in the red zone on a poor throw to Williams there. I mean, I like that we got up to a 10-0 lead, but we just weren't able to maintain it. We got out of sync. But the penalties hurt our offense and a few turnovers. I think sometimes Carr is trying to audible too much, and it's causing the team to, do a false start. So hopefully, Carr will work on not overthinking everything. Hey, we'll dust our feet off. I hope they find a way to get Keelan Doss more involved in the offense because I think he's better than Ryan Grant. We'll see what happens, but I'm just a fan. I'm not the coach. But hey, we got Minnesota next week. They're coming off a loss too, so hope we can bounce back and get the win. I like our run defense, so I think I like our chances going to Minnesota and getting a victory. Let's get it done, Raider Nation. Hey, we're 1-1. The Chargers lost as well today. So it's not too bad of a loss in that sense. So go Raiders. Let's bounce back and get to 2-1. Raider Nation, we're still in it. Let's get better. That team we just played is the best offense we'll face the whole year unless we make playoffs. Play New England. I can't wait to continue to get better and see how we do when we go to Arrowhead. Until then, let's focus on Minnesota. Let's learn from this and get better, and I think we will. Go Raiders. Let's get to 2-1.
All right, nice job.
Yeah, it was.
Appreciate that, Trucker Dan. Yeah, so, Mosh, we're 1-1. We're tied for second place. Like, how bad is today? And we lost to a Super Bowl favorite. Like,
right?
Come on. We're good, Raider Nation. Hang in there. All right, so, man, one of my favorites, and you're all my favorites.
You always say that.
We love everybody. But, Rev Raiders really is just a fun caller, and so let's hear from him.
What's going on, Murph and Uncle Mosh? Young Swaggo. This is Rev Raider calling from Jersey. Just want to give my thoughts on the game, man. In the words of John Gruden, I need better effing execution. Back to the 6 P's, proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
I love that.
Yep.
I mean, if you looked at film, these guys like going deep. So, in the second quarter, what were they thinking about? Like, even Tony Romo, he was saying they're going on motion to try and confuse you, and that's exactly what they did. He called it right before, and then they go deep on it, Not getting off the field with third down, unacceptable. I mean, 3rd and 20 and they stroke us deep, like, that's crazy. Like, what was the secondary doing? Well, mainly the safeties. You can definitely see, I think we were definitely missing Jonathan Abrams because I think he would have took some hits on Kelsey, and Kelsey would have thought twice about some of the catches that he was making, even some of the other receivers. He would have laid that wood to him, But overall, honestly, from what I saw, we can beat the Chiefs. If we execute the way we're supposed to execute, the way I know that the Raiders can execute, we can definitely beat the Chiefs, man. Also, I definitely even on offense, the wide receivers, it just didn't seem like they were aggressive enough. They need to be more aggressive. And I hope John Gruden chews them out about that too. I was watching all these things about Jalen Ramsey. It would be cool. I don't really see us doing that or trading for him. I mean, if we did, it would definitely be a dope look. And we definitely have the money to pay him, since we got rid of that other clown. you know, so we got a little cap space to pay him if need be. So that would be cool if it happened. But just looking forward to the next game. I think we got a prime opportunity to do that. The way we've been to beat the Vikings, the way we've been stopping the run, I think we're going to be some good competition for Dalvin Cook. And if we're going to leave it in the hands of Kirk Cousins, he's known to buckle under pressure. You know, if we apply the pressure, you know, we're going to bust those pipes. So secondary got to step up, and the D-line got to apply that pressure to him. But that's all I got. And I'll talk to you guys. Love the show as always. Peace.
Oh, Rev Raider, let me tell you. So your call was great as usual, and the chat is killing it. They're all that call was exactly 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah.
Google Voice gets you at the 3-minute mark, and everybody in the chat is going, "Dead man walking."
I loved Full Metal Mexican. Google Voice is like that creepy old guy in the clinic who keeps on asking if you got any breath mints and farts every time he asks.
Running Bear says Google is stalking in the bushes. Oh my God. Ron gave him an MVP.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's funny. Y'all are the
I
best.
think Rev's got his watch on it, man. He knows. He knows.
Oh
funny.
man, that was great. Great job, Rev. Great job, chat room, man.
I Pet says, I learned my lesson last week. Sugar Shane, I'm hearing the Jaws theme now. As it was creeping up. Only our chat keeps a watch on people.
Oh man, y'all crack us up, man. It's too funny. All right, next up, you know the city.
Raider Beto, you know the city. So anyway, football season's back as I am. So we won last week against the Broncos. I'm not really surprised.
All right, well, hold
They
on.
have really bad
I know we're
offense,
running
but-
along, right? I got to tell you, Beto apparently needs to replace the battery in his smoke alarm. And as soon as when I was doing voicemails today,
Right.
I do it with the monitors up in the studio here, right? So I do it with all the sound up. So I'm hearing it and I'm going, oh crap. Man, now that's going to be bleeding through, and I got to get up and go. So I stop it, and I'm walking around the house, and I'm listening for it, and it doesn't beep. And then I come back over here, and I start listening to it again, and it beeps, and I'm like, gosh, dang it. So I get up, and I'm like, thanks, Beto. Yeah, I know this city. Buy a 9-volt, bro.
Raider Beto, you know the city. So anyway, football season's back as I am. So we won last week against the Broncos. I'm not really surprised. And they have a really bad offense, and their defense is dying. It's dying. You have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb and Chris Harris. That's about it. So anyway, back to the point. We lost against the Chiefs. Okay. It was a pretty bad loss, 28-10. Almost scored a touchdown and a field goal. But here's the silver lining to this. For 3 quarters, we shut out the Chiefs' defense. But at the same time, they scored 28 points on us. That's not good. We had our corners are not very good. Conley got trashed, and I kind of expected it because, you know, he's coming off an injury. Everyone's saying they're jumping ship off Derek Carr, and last week y'all were kissing his ass, so make up your damn mind. I believe Carr, I liked what Carr did last game. He jumped over, trying to get the first down, and I saw that grit in Carr. Granted, he did a dumb, I want to say it was his fault. He killed some Williams because he didn't really get that push off in the end zone interception. The second interception, that was on the refs, trying to do as dirty as they always do. But anyway, upcoming this week is the Vikings. I'm going to be at that game. It's on my birthday. Hopefully they win, But it's going to be a tough game. I do not expect, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose, but I'll be very surprised if they win, because this is a tough game. The main thing is they got to protect Carr. You got to stretch the damn field. I didn't see a lot of stretch in the field. If I did, well, it's not that good. But we got to stretch the field. You got to score points as much as we can, because the Vikings offense is pretty decent, pretty good. The defense is the thing that's better with the Vikings. So we will have to see what we do. We're 1-1. It's not like we're in week 13 and we're 2-14 or whatever. Or, and the season's gone to trash. It's 1-1. Calm down, everybody. If by the bye week we are 3-5 or 1-5, we'll see. And start complaining about Carr then. But meanwhile, calm down. So anyway, go Raiders.
Oh my gosh, the chat is on fire tonight. I love you guys, man. So I'm just going to read them down. So this is what Mosh. If you ever wonder why Mosh and I, you hear us giggling off mic or off camera during your calls, it's because this is in order. Ha ha, holy hell. Beto, cheap. You know the sound. Google Voice might fart in my face. Damn it, bro. Great call as usual. Mosh is farting. Legend has it that smoke alarm beeps repel the Google Voice Reaper. Beto, 99-cent store batteries. Get some donuts for me and Mosh. This is Google trying to set a tone before it gets you like the Jaws theme. Like, this is what we're reading as we're going. You guys are the funniest, man. Oh, my God. DT the Sun, this gives me anxiety. Me too, man. I'm telling Kevin says, push the damn reset button, nerd. Oh, you guys are the best. Oh, geez.
Full Metal Mexican, you are killing me.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. All right, so here we go. So you might be Beto 9-volt here from here out, man. I'm telling you. Beto, great call. Thank you for calling. All right, Mosh, we got one more before we call it a night.
What's up, Murph? What's up, Uncle Mosh? What's up, Swag Jeff? Cappoed, Aaron the Q Dog, Raider. What's up, Raider Nation? This is Coach Davis. You know, first and foremost, I'm a made man now. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
You know, very proud member of the made men. And, but first things first, I just want to say congratulations to our quarterback, Derek Carr, for passing Kenny the Snake Stabler for all-time passing yards in franchise history, man. Man, you my quarterback. I love you, man. Appreciate everything you do. Short-term memory, man. Let's get over this loss, man. You know, everybody is probably a little upset about it, but now it's time to do what a Raider does best, man. My favorite part of Hard Knocks was when John Gruden was telling all them rookies exactly what a Raider is, man. We go into enemy territory and take their crap. Arr, you Minnesota Vikings. Be prepared to give us your booty or walk the plank and we're still getting your booty. Let's go, Raider Nation. Let's run off these road games, man. Raider Nation, what's up? Love y'all. Out.
Oh, my
nice
gosh.
job, Coach Davis. Nice job. All right, Mosh. So every week we award a Sizzler to the best emailer or phone caller. And so what do you got for us this week?
Man, what a strong week. And I love the new format, the Grade 8, and they were all great.
Awesome, right? I mean, like every call's on point.
Yes, and Super Deuce. He wasn't going to own the super part of it, but he was super, man. Yeah. I love it. He gave some nice talk on AB and referred to me as Unk. I love that.
I like Unk.
Historian Steve, man, classing it up, bro. Bringing in some Dylan Thomas quotes. You know, come on, that's hard to beat. Iceberg. Great tagline. Just moving the capital. You know, that was strong.
Legit,
that was
strong.
strong.
That was really good.
Jay Jr. in SD brought some thoughts on Ramsey. Trucker Dan trucking across Arkansas had a great game recap analysis. I loved it. Rev Raider, he started off with Gruden's quote, "We need some better effing execution."
Yes.
And, of course, took it down to the minute. Man, he just had it down. And then Beto, you know the city. Beto, you know the chirp. 9-volt Beto.
9-volt Beto.
And then Coach Davis, newly made man.
I like it.
Status. He loves his newly man-made status. Congrats to Carr. He loves the way that the team's going, and he's the first. This is his first win as a Sizzler Award winner.
Nice job, Coach Davis.
Sizzler.
Awesome job, Coach Davis.
Sorry.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Booty takers, he said.
Uncle Mosh, remember when we did our pre-show and we went over our
90
script?
minutes. We were
and
going to go 90
I
minutes.
said we're going to go 90 minutes, and it's now been an hour and 56 minutes. And that's now part of that was we kind of had a little bit of a delay on the top end, and so my camera situation was funky. So thank you to those of you for hanging in there with us. Thank you to the chat room, man. You guys are on fire every week. Every freaking week, I lose it at some point, fog up my glasses, and laugh uncontrollably because you guys are the best. So if you don't join us live, please do. YouTube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. That's MURFS Fan Cave. Thank you to Coach Davis, Sugar Shane.
Wait.
All right,
He goes,
go ahead.
Coach Davis, he's so funny in the chat. He goes, I'd like to thank God, my family, and Raider Nation.
There you go. There you go, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good order there, man.
Yeah. I love it.
You've got the order correct. So thank you to Coach Davis, Full Metal Mexican, Eye Patch, Sugar Shane, Running Bear is in there. Ron, thank you so much, Ron, for moderating the chat tonight. That's why we call him the Materator. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Pirate 1975, Franklin 83, Jesse Rosales, Rogue Code. Thank you to you all. We appreciate you so very much. You guys are what this thing is all about, and can't wait to meet up with you all live in Oakland on November 3rd for the Raiders-Lions game. Uncle Mosh, take us home.
All right, man, what a great night. What a great night. You know, it's funny that one of the reasons I think we go slow, I just happened to look at the play clock. It's 15 minutes late, our clock. Our official Raider clock. You know what that means? You need a new 9-volt battery, Merv.
Is it really slow?
Yeah, it is. 15 minutes. Don't ever pick on Beto. Anyway, thanks for listening tonight, everybody. This is your old Uncle Mosh in for Murph and the absent Swaggy J. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't ever forget, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody. God bless.